Chris?
Let us pray. Lord, we just come to you with grateful hearts, Lord. Just thank you for blessing our community and our country, Lord. Just help us make the best decisions that honor your will, Lord, in our lives. Lord, just keep our city employees safe through this heat wave and last year.
Amen.
Amen.
Thank you.
Call to order the City Council meeting of August 20th, 2026. Allie, will you lead us in the pledge?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, Ms. Vicki, roll call.
J.P. Hodges.
Here.
Lewis Short.
Here.
Lane Tubbs.
Here.
Pete Harris.
Here.
Chris Foster.
Here.
Allie Sugg.
Here.
Amy Bader.
Here. Lloyd
White.
Here.
Attorney Prince. Here. Mayor Griffin.
Here.
Members of the press.
Let the record show we have a quorum. And we have a great audience tonight. Thanks, everybody, for coming. Might be the biggest one we've had in a while. Okay. Motion to waive the reading of the minutes and approve the minutes plus excerpts as presented at the July 16th, 2026 City Council meeting.
Second.
Any discussion? Vicki? Who seconded?
Amy Bader.
Thank you.
Lloyd White. Allie Sugg. Chris Foster.
Yes.
Pete Harris.
Yes.
Lane Tubbs.
Yes.
Lewis Short.
Yes.
J.P. Hodges.
Motion carried. Next, approval of the payments journals dated July 1st to July 31st, 2026.
So moved.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Vicki?
Pete Harris.
Yes.
Chris Foster.
Yes.
J.P. Hodges.
Yes.
Lloyd White. Lewis Short.
Yes.
Amy Bader.
Yes.
Allie Sugg.
Yes.
Lane Tubbs.
Yes.
Motion carried. Next, approval of street fund financial statement, sanitation fund, general fund, community center, and O&M, and miscellaneous funds dated July 31st, 2026.
Second.
Any discussion? Vicki?
Chris Foster.
Yes.
Lloyd White. Amy Bader.
Yes.
Allie Sugg.
Yes.
J.P. Hodges.
Yes.
Pete Harris.
Yes.
Lane Tubbs.
Yes.
Lewis Short.
Yes.
Motion carried. Next, you have your supervisor reports. Do you have any questions for our supervisors?
I was just going to ask Brian about, so we're getting the side-by-side out there, and that's worked okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
They take it out there on the weekend. They're keeping it PD right now. They're building.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
We know, we have, we know some of the areas that we're going to be prepared for routes moving across the streets.
Uh-huh.
What's the time frame?
I'm not sure. I don't think Scott has heard back from the paving guy.
So did we do the work getting the routes out?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah, and then we laid the gravel, and so we're just waiting to get on that the paving guy's rotation.
Okay. Is that the people at Rosebud?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm not sure. He talked to a couple of them. Okay, I have an update on the FEMA project. They provided an updated award letter dated August 5th that reflects the approved amendment to modify the scope of work. And they plan to advertise the project for bids on Sunday, August 30th, and again on Sunday, September 6th, and then a public opening at 3 p.m. on Tuesday, October 6th at City Hall. We are still working on the easements. We've got 3 out of 5 right now. After the bid opening, the engineers will include the bid tabulation and recommendation award in the October council packets to be sent out October 8th. And we will review and award the project at the October council meeting. The 8th Street Bridge, Scott and I had a call with RDOT, and they should have 100% of the plans completed by October. So it will go to bid in early '27, and I found out that they are going to add a guardrail. So that's helpful. Yeah. Those are just,
There's short concrete ones on each side now.
yeah. Yeah. And I have contacted the stream team because there is some erosion there where that huge culvert is, to get back on their list to see if we can mitigate that. Maybe after they do the work on the bridge. I'm not sure how that's going to work. So I'm waiting to hear back from them.
A culvert runs in from one of the sides.
Yes, it's a very large culvert, and it's got a lot of erosion and wash where it goes over.
I'm surprised there's not two there.
I mean, it's huge. It's huge.
But it's not under the bridge. We're talking about running in from a side into
Yeah, it
the
runs
stream
over.
there.
Yeah,
Correct.
street Back.
Yes.
Behind. Comes
Yes.
down, I guess, from,
Yeah.
it's across the street behind Kenny's, over by LT's.
By Scott Street.
Yes.
Coming from Scott Street over. Okay.
Matter of fact, that whole,
It comes in upstream of the bridge.
Yes.
what is that, Walnut? Is that right up there? Walnut to Scott, somewhere in that area?
Yeah. Mill. What is it? What's adjacent? What's?
Hey,
Yeah. Okay, unfinished business. We had this district court interlocal agreement, and we are still working out some more details, so I'd like to table that till the next meeting.
That's
We're
big.
almost there.
So
Yeah.
close,
Carrie
so
has worked
close.
relentlessly on this,
Yeah.
and I asked for some additional language to be included, but we are almost there. I think we'll be ready for that.
Yeah, Carrie and I went and met with the county
Promise.
judge. With,
My crystal ball, but I think we're good.
with the county judge and, the mayor and treasurer of, Quitman, Concord, and Grush Ferry to try to, work on this.
This is the administration of justice account.
Yes.
Yes.
We're trying to figure out if we're actually going to be paying less or paying more, or how much more.
Right,
Okay.
right.
Do we even have a sense of that yet? If are we paying more? Are we paying less? Just wondering.
Well, we're,
Carrie, do you think that it is less?
Okay, so I know you told me you thought less, and at the last meeting, somebody told me they thought more. So I'm just wondering,
So-
okay,
table of interlocal.
yeah.
before you're right, okay. I'm
Yeah.
just wondering, thank you.
Let's do some more work on that.
Okay.
Okay. Bless you. New business, the AI policy resolution. Anybody feel like reading tonight?
I'll do it, I don't mind.
Okay.
What will this resolution number be?
2026-04.
A resolution adopting an artificial intelligence policy for the city of Heber, strengthen compliance with Act 848 of 2025 and for other purposes. Whereas Act 848 of 2025 enacted by the Arkansas General Assembly and codified at Arkansas Code annotated section 25.1.128 at SEC requires all public entities, including municipalities, to adopt a policy concerning the authorized use of artificial intelligence and automated decision tools. And whereas the Act defines AI as a machine-based system that can, based on a given set of human-defined objectives, make predictions, recommendations, or decisions influencing real or virtual environments, and it defines automated decision tool as a system or service that uses AI and has been specifically developed and marketed or specifically modified to make or to be a controlling factor in making consequential decisions. And whereas the Act mandates that final decisions involving AI must be made by a human employee. And whereas Section D of Act 848 specifically prohibits the use of AI and automated decision tools by public employees. And whereas the Act further requires municipalities to provide employee training on the AI policy and to establish disciplinary procedures for violations of the policy. And whereas the Arkansas Municipal League has made training resources available to assist municipalities in complying with Act 848. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Heber Springs, Arkansas, Section 1, the city hereby adopts the attached AS 3 policy, which defines the authorized use of AI and automated decision tools by city employees. Section 2, the policy requires that all consequential decisions involving AI tools must be reviewed and finalized by a human employee or authorized designee. Section 3, the policy includes a prohibition on the use of AI and automated decision tools for the following purposes as required by Section D of Act 848 of 2025. Expressing a personal political opinion to an elected official unless the opinion is within the scope of the employee's regular job duties or requested by an elected official or public entity, or engaging in lobbying an elected official on a personal opinion if the employee is not a registered lobbyist for the city, engaging in illegal activities or activities otherwise prohibited by federal law or state law, intentionally overriding or avoiding the cybersecurity or system integrity procedures of the city. Section 4, all city employees shall complete a training on the AI policy as provided by the Arkansas Municipal League or other approved sources prior to using AI on city business or city equipment. Section 5, the city hereby adopts a disciplinary procedure for violations of the AI policy, which shall be incorporated into the city's employee handbook and enforced quarterly.
I want to hear you.
You think my mic died? Okay.
Second.
Any discussion?
Does this have to go 3 months, or does it automatically go in?
It's a
Resolution?
Yeah,
Okay.
Do we need to make a summary for folks who weren't able to hear it? Or?
We can, or we can post it. If they'd like to see it. Okay, Vicki, you ready?
I'm ready. Amy Bader,
Yes.
Lloyd White,
Yes.
Chris Foster,
Yes.
Allie Sugg,
Yes.
Lane Tubbs.
Yes.
Pete Harris,
Yes.
Lewis Short,
Yes.
J.P. Hodges,
Yes.
Motion carried. Next, we have a handbook amendment ordinance.
605? Well, no, it's an ordinance.
It's an ordinance, yeah, I won't follow the same number.
Sorry.
it'll be 2026-06.
I'll read it. Be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Heber Springs, Arkansas, an ordinance be entitled Approval of the Employee Handbook for the City of Heber Springs, Arkansas, and for other purposes, declaring an emergency and for other purposes. Whereas the City Council of Heber Springs desires to approve the Employee Handbook for the City of Heber Springs by ordinance, and now therefore be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Heber Springs, Arkansas, that Section 1, the City of Heber Springs does hereby adopt by reference the attached Personnel Handbook hereto as Exhibit 1. Section 2, all ordinances, resolution, employee personnel policies, and parts thereof in conflict with the attached Personnel Handbook are hereby repealed to the extent of such conflict. Section 3, the attached Personnel Handbook is adopted for a period of 8 years unless sooner amendment, modified, extended, or repealed. Section 4, a copy of the Personnel Handbook shall be maintained and on file in the Mayor's office for use and examination by city employees or elected officials. Section 5, all employees of the City of Heber Springs shall be provided with a copy of the Personnel Handbook, and a copy of signed receipt shall be maintained in each employee's file. Section 6, if any provision of the ordinance or the application thereof to any person or circumstances held invalid, such invalidity shall not affect the other provisions or applications of this ordinance, which can be given effect without the invalid provision or application, and to this end the provision of this ordinance, and hereby declared to be severable.
Second.
Ready?
J.P. Hodges,
Yes.
Lewis Short,
Yes.
Pete Harris,
Yes.
Lane Tubbs.
Yes.
Allie Sugg, Chris Foster,
Yes.
Amy Bader,
Yes.
Lloyd White,
Motion carried. Be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Heber Springs, Arkansas, an ordinance to be entitled Approval of the Employee Handbook for the City of Heber Springs, Arkansas, and for other purposes, declaring an emergency and for other purposes.
Make a motion to place on third and final reading on title only.
Chris
Vic-
Foster,
Yes.
Lane Tubbs,
Yes.
Lloyd White,
Yes.
J.P. Hodges,
Yes.
Amy Bader,
Yes.
Louis Short,
Yes.
Allie Sugg,
Yes.
Pete Harris,
Yes.
Motion carried.
Make a motion to adopt the emergency.
we need to adopt
We need
the,
to adopt the ordinance first.
Oh, sorry, yeah. Make a motion to adopt the ordinance.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Lane Tubbs,
Yes.
Pete Harris,
Yes.
Allie Sugg,
Yes.
Chris Foster,
Yes.
Amy Bader,
Yes.
Lloyd White,
Yes.
Louis Short,
Yes.
J.P. Hodges,
Yes.
Motion carried.
Make a motion to adopt the emergency clause.
Any discussion? Vicki?
Allie Sugg, Lloyd White, J.P. Hodges, Lane Tubbs,
Yes.
Pete Harris,
Yes.
Amy Bader,
Yes.
Chris Foster,
Yes.
Louis Short,
Yes.
Motion carried. Okay, next up, we have the abandonment of unconstructed street right-of-way ordinance.
Did somebody ask for this? Is that how that?
Yes.
What we abandoned, just want
Yes, sir.
the process.
Ronnie, would you like to discuss the process?
So the process for street abandonment is the property owners that are by that street will petition to the planning commission. The planning commission will review. If the planning commission does not see any issues with closing it, and it also goes to a public hearing at that time. If there's no issues with closing it, if there's no future plans to construct the street, then the planning commission will make the decision to approve closing and presenting it to the council by ordinance. Then once the ordinance is passed, the street will then be officially closed. And either the property is split 50-50 among the people on each side, or if one side wants to take the whole property and the other side says they don't want it, it can be converted that way. It really depends on which one it is. I will tell you, as time goes on, we're probably going to run into a lot of these, because we have a lot of areas that show they were closed, but they were closed by what we appears to be by resolution, not by ordinance, and they should have been closed by ordinance in the past. So as these come up, we'll have to rewrite an ordinance that shows that they were closed, that shows they're closed by ordinance. And this one, I feel that's what this is. All the mapping shows there's no right-of-way or no easement there, but we have no record to show that that was officially closed by ordinance at any point. Matter of fact, they've even built, when they did the addition on their parking lot, it goes into that right-of-way. So I feel it was closed, but a lot of the administration from Renew Church, it was still the United Methodist Church at that time. Some stuff has changed. I don't know where the records are for that. I don't even know who owns the property prior, but we're wanting to do it this way to make sure that it's officially on record, that it has been closed by the city or in Renew Church.
Thank you, Ronnie. Okay, whose turn?
Is that 07?
Yes, sir.
An ordinance to vacate and abandon all the rights to use of the city of Heber Springs of the platted unconstructed 60-foot street easement between the corner of North 9th Street and West Sugarloaf Street to West Pine Street, west of Block 4, Hillier Addition, designated herein and for the other purposes, whereas the platted unconstructed 60-foot street easement between the corner of North 9th Street and West Sugarloaf Street to West Pine Street to the west of Block 4 of Hillier Addition in the city of Heber Springs, Cleveland County, Arkansas, has never been developed and is not being used as a city street and no longer required for corporate purposes, and whereas the administration of Renew Church located at 1099 West Pine Street in the city of Heber Springs, Cleveland County, Arkansas, has filed its written consent to request an abandonment of the street described above by the city of Heber Springs, Arkansas, and whereas all the owners of the property abutting upon the portion of the street to be vacated have filed with the council their written consent to abandonment, and public interest and welfare will not be adversely affected by the abandonment of the portion of the street described above, and whereas Arkansas Code Annotated Section 1554104 confers upon the city of the first class of authority to vacate such portions of streets as may not for the time being be required for the corporate purposes, and the city desires to abandon and vacate the street easement described above. Now therefore be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Heber Springs, Arkansas, Section 1. The City of Heber Springs, Arkansas hereby vacates and abandons all the right of use together with the rights of the public generally in and to the following described property. The platted unconstructed 60-foot easement as shown on the original plat of Heber Springs, Cleveland County, Arkansas, between the corner of North 9th Street and West Sugarloaf Street, going to the north to West Pine Street, located to the west of Block 4 of Hilliger Addition in the city of Heber Springs, said property line in the city of Heber Springs, County of Cleveland, State of Arkansas. Section 2, a copy of the ordinance duly certified by the city clerk shall be filed in the office of the recorder of the county and recorded in deed record of the county. Section 3, all ordinances and parts of ordinances in conflict herewith and hereby repealed to the extent of such conflict. Section 4, in the event any section, subsection, or part of the ordinance is later ruled to be invalid, the other provisions of this ordinance shall remain in full force and effect. And Section 5, the ordinance shall take effect and be enforced from and after its passage. All ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewithin are hereby repealed to the extent of the conflict.
Thank you. Thank you, Lane.
Just need a motion to approve that ordinance. So moved.
I got a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. Vicki?
I had Lewis made the motion and Harris was my second.
Pete, second? Okay.
Lane Tubbs?
Yes.
Pete Harris?
Yes.
Allie Sugg?
Yes.
Chris Foster?
Yes.
Amy Bader?
Yes.
Lloyd White? Lewis Short?
Yes.
J.P. Hodges?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Ordinance 2026-07, an ordinance to vacate and abandon all the rights to use of the city of Heber Springs of the platted unconstructed 60-foot street easement between the corner of North 9th Street and West Sugarloaf Street to West Pine Street, west of Block 4, Hilliger Addition, designated herein and for other purposes.
Make a motion to take on third and final reading by title only.
Second.
Vicki?
Okay, Amy Bader?
Yes.
Lloyd White?
Yes.
Chris Foster?
Yes.
Allie Sugg?
Yes.
J.P. Hodges?
Yes.
Lane Tubbs?
Yes.
Pete Harris?
Yes.
Lewis Short?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Ordinance 2026-07, an ordinance to vacate and abandon all the rights to use of the city of Heber Springs of the platted unconstructed 60-foot street easement between the corner of North 9th Street and West Sugarloaf Street to West Pine Street, west of Block 4, Hilliger Addition, designed herein and for other purposes.
Make a motion to adopt.
Second.
Any discussion? Vicki?
J.P. Hodges?
Yes.
Lane Tubbs?
Yes.
Allie Sugg? Amy Bader?
Yes.
Lewis Short?
Yes.
Pete Harris?
Yes.
Chris Foster?
Yes.
Lloyd White?
Motion carried. Okay, next we've got our sign ordinance amendment. You guys should have two copies. One has the highlighted changes. Do we all need to take a page and read this whole thing?
Well, if you read two apiece, you'll have it read.
16 pages.
Good work.
It's-
Ronnie.
yes.
Thank you for your work.
I'll go for as long as I can before
Which one are you reading?
Okay.
we all want to start.
They're the same, only one has the highlighted changes.
Make sure you consult with
06.
08.
Ordinance 2026-08, an ordinance amending Heber Springs Municipal Code Title 11, Chapter 11.52 in the entirety, including all ordinances referenced, also known as the comprehensive sign regulations under the authority of the municipality's powers to plan and zone within the city limits of Heber Springs, Arkansas, declaring an emergency and for other purposes. Section 1, purpose. Whereas the regulation of signs within the Heber Springs Municipal Planning and Zoning Code is vital to carrying out or protecting the provisions of the city's comprehensive plan, and whereas new developments concerning the size and type of signs have made it necessary to amend the current sign regulations within the Heber Springs Municipal Code, and whereas the mayor and the city's Planning and Zoning Commission has made a thorough study of the city's needs with regard to the regulation of signs, has prepared and recommended regulations to the Planning and Zoning Commission. And whereas the Planning and Zoning Commission, after holding a public hearing in accordance with Arkansas law, has recommended the changes set forth herein to the City Council. Now therefore be it ordained by the City Council of Heber Springs, Arkansas, that the Heber Springs Municipal Code, Chapter 11.52, as it pertains to planning and zoning regulations, is supplemented and amended in the entirety. Section 2, definition. Illumination device, an outdoor source of light used to illuminate outdoor signs and/or building facade. Is that right?
Yep.
Mansard roof, any roof that has an angle greater than 45 degrees and which derives part of its support from the building walls and is attached, but not necessarily a part of, a sloped roof less than 3 inches rise per 12 inches horizontal, and which extends along the full length of the front building wall or 3/4 of the length of the side building wall. Marquee, and any permanent roof-like structure projected beyond a building or extending along and projecting beyond the wall of the building, generally designed and constructed to provide protection from the weather. Mural, a non-commercial message, picture, scene, or diagram of original artwork that is artistic or cultural in nature, exhibited on the outside wall of a building or structure through application of paint, tile, or similar materials such that the wall becomes the background surface or platform for the mural, distinguishing it from the commercial signage or graffiti. Product dispensers. A dispenser is a device that dispenses products such as newspaper, real estate, advertisements, news magazines, etc. Sign. Any outdoor device, figure, painting, message, poster, or other structure which is designed or intended to advertise or inform the public of an establishment, goods, service, or event. Sign advertising. An on-site or off-premise sign not exceeding 32 square feet in area, used to advertise sales, service, products, etc. for a business. Sign alteration. Change of image, height, shape, size, or location will be defined as an alteration. Sign billboard. An off-premise sign exceeding 32 square feet in area. Sign balloon. A type of temporary sign that floats and is designed to resemble a balloon, blimp, dirigible, hot air device, or other flying object tethered to the ground. Sign canopy, a sign attached to the underside of a canopy. Sign construction, a temporary sign erected on the premises where construction is taking place during the period of such construction, indicating the names of the architects, engineers, landscape architects, contractors, or similar artisans, and the owners, financial supporters, sponsors, and similar individuals or firms having a role or interest with respect to the structure or project. Sign directional, signs directing or informing of public or quasi-public nature, school, library, hospital, parks, recreational facilities, public buildings, or public usage areas. Sign directory, a sign, usually of ladder construction, listing the tenants or occupants of a building or group of buildings, name of the building or group of buildings, and that may also indicate their respective professions or business activities. Height not to exceed 30 feet. Sign, flashing, any directly or indirectly illuminated sign that exhibits changing natural or artificial light or color effects by any means whatsoever. Sign, fluttering ribbons, flags, feather flags, and banner. Temporary advertising signs consisting of, but not limited to, fabric signs, banners, ribbons, or feather flags. Sign, freestanding, any non-movable sign not affixed to the building, height not to exceed 30 feet. Sign, garage or yard sale, a temporary advertising sign for a private sale of personal property used to dispose of personal household possessions, not for use of any commercial venture. Sign, ghost, a sign of historic nature and character painting on the side of a building. These signs generally serve no current purpose with regards to commercial or non-commercial advertising. Sign, ground, a freestanding sign other than a pole sign in which the entire bottom is in contact with or is close to the ground. Sign, height. Okay, tag.
Sign height, the vertical distance from the highest point of the sign or structure to the grade of adjacent street or surface grade beneath the sign, whichever grade is highest. Sign, home occupation, a sign to identify the business, occupation, or profession within a residential structure. Sign, illuminated, a sign designed to give forth any artificial light or reflect such light from an artificial source. Sign, ladder, see sign directory. Sign, non-conforming, any sign which is not permitted within the zone in which it is located, or any sign that is defective, damaged, substantially deteriorated, or presents a public hazard. Sign, off premises, a permanent commercial sign, whether leased or owned by the advertising entity, that directs attention to a business, commodity, service, or entertainment conducted, sold, or offered at a location other than the premises on which the sign is located. Sign, pole, a sign that is mounted on a freestanding pole or other support so that the bottom edge of the sign face is 6 feet or more above ground. Sign, political, temporary sign erected on private property within the city for the purpose of political campaigning regarding a designated election. Sign, portable, any sign which is movable, portable, or designed to be portable, which is in the shape of an A-frame panel or mounted on wheels or legs of any kind, whether or not permanently affixed to the ground or buildings. Portable signs include movable reader board signs, which are signs, in which the advertising is accomplished by digitally active electrical lettering. Sign, projecting, a sign which projects from and is supported by a wall of a building and does not extend beyond, into, or over the street right-of-way. Sign, real estate, signs advertising a specific property for sale, rent, or lease. Sign, roof, a sign that is mounted on the roof of a building or that is wholly dependent upon a building for support in projects above the top edge or roof line of a building with a flat roof, the eave line of a building with a gambrel, gable, or hip roof, or the deck line of a building with a mansard roof. Sign, special event, temporary advertising signs describing an event of public interest, fair, trade show, auctions, etc. Sign, temporary, a sign constructed or intended for long-term use and not permanently attached to the ground, a building, or structure. Temporary signs shall include all signs made of non-durable material, including but not limited to cloth, canvas, paper, cardboard, flexible vinyl, nylon, tarpaulin, or like material, coated paper or canvas, or organic material. Structural pylons, a support structure for the outdoor signs. Sign, subdivision, A sign exclusively constructed to identify the community on whose premise the sign is constructed. Sign wall. Any sign that shall be affixed parallel to the wall or printed on the wall of any building in such a manner as to read parallel to the wall on which it is mounted, provided, however, said wall sign shall not project above the top wall or beyond the end of the building. For the purpose of this ordinance, any sign display surface that is affixed flat against the sloping surface of a mansard roof shall be considered a wall sign. Any sign that is affixed to the building marquee, building awning, or a building canopy shall be considered a wall sign. Sign window. Any signs, pictures, symbols, or combination thereof designed to communicate information about an activity, business, commodity, event, sale, or service that is placed inside a window or upon the window. Wires overhead. All wires suspended above ground by a utility or other entity so that clearances mandated by current editions of the National Electric Safety Code, the National Electric Code, and other state and local regulations must be maintained. Section 3, General Sign Regulations. The following regulations govern the permitting of any signs in the city of Heber Springs. A permit shall be required for the erection, alteration, or reconstruction of any sign unless otherwise noted in this section and shall be issued by the Planning and Zoning Commission or duly appointed in accordance with these regulations. Signs must be constructed of durable materials designed to withstand normal weather conditions for the area. The use of temporary materials is prohibited for signs intended for long-term display. Temporary materials include, but are not limited to, paper, cloth, canvas, light fabric, cardboard, wallboard, temporary vinyl banners, or non-weather resistant plywood. Signs must be maintained in good condition and not become dilapidated, damaged, or structurally unsafe, or the sign must be removed or repaired to meet current sign regulations. Illumination devices shall be so placed and so shielded that rays from the devices or from the sign itself will not be directly cast into any residential zone or sleeping room in any zone or in the eyes of a vehicular driver. Only signs installed or authorized by the state, county, or city may be placed on the public right-of-way. No advertising sign shall be erected within 50 feet of any adjoining residential zone boundary line if the sign faces perpendicular to the street that the building faces. Further, no flashing sign of any type shall be erected within 150 feet of an adjoining residential zone boundary line if the face of such sign is perpendicular to the street the building faces. No sign may be painted directly on the surface of any building facade, wall, fence, or similar structure with the exception of approved murals. You're not going to go? I'll read it. I'll keep going. All signs shall be erected within the property lines of the premises upon which they are located. No portion of a freestanding sign shall extend, be erected, or be placed in any street right-of-way. All structural pylons and supports must be set back from the property line or right-of-way line a distance of at least 1/4 the required building setback of the zoned area or other distance as specified within this article, whichever distance is greater. All structural pylons and supports must be set back a distance of at least 5 feet from any easement. Signs that, in the opinion of the Planning and Zoning Commission or the Chief of Police, may be in conflict with public traffic signaling devices shall not be permitted. No person shall place, maintain, or display any otherwise authorized sign, signal, marking, or device which imitates or resembles an official traffic control device, emergency light, or railroad sign or signal, or which has the effect of disrupting the movement of traffic. No person shall place, maintain, or display any sign that hides from view or interferes with the movement of traffic or the effectiveness of any traffic control device or signal. Signs and sign structures attached to the wall of any building shall not extend above the roof line. No sign shall be constructed in such a way as to interfere or extend into contact with any overhead wires. No truck, automobile, trailer, or boat modified to advertise a commercial business or product shall be parked on a public parking lot or space or in a public right-of-way in such a manner as to act as permanent or semi-permanent advertising. Licensed vehicles used in the normal daily routine of conducting business are exempt. An electrical permit is required for any signage that includes electrical work and must be installed by an installer with a master electrician license or state electric sign license and must meet the currently adopted electrical code standard. Section 5, sign types. The following regulations apply to the specific signs as types of signs as noted. Wall signs. Signs on the wall of a building, including signs attached flat against the wall, painted wall signs, and projecting signs, shall meet the following requirements. The display surface area of such sign shall not exceed 25% of the square footage of the wall to which it is attached and not to exceed maximum square feet per zone. Such sign shall be located on the front wall of the building, which is oriented to the street from which access is derived. For uses with two street frontages, wall signs may be located on a wall or for each frontage. For uses not oriented to a public street, the wall considered to be the front of the use shall be used for location of such signage. Such sign shall not extend above the roof line of the building to which it is attached, nor shall such sign project outward from the building more than 24 inches. Such sign placed in the horizontal space between windows of a two-story building shall not exceed in height more than 2/3 of the distance between the top of the windows below and the seal of the window above. Approved mural signs that meet the regulations set for a mural are exempt from the square footage requirements. Pole signs. Signs on poles where permitted are subject to the following standards. A premise shall be permitted to have one ground pole or pole sign for each street frontage. Such signs have a maximum display surface specifically allowed within Section 6. Signs permitted in commercial zones or signs permitted in industrial zones. The maximum height of a sign pole shall be 30 feet. Ground signs. Ground signs are subject to the following standards. Ground signs are not to exceed 4 feet in height except as allowed in the following section. Ground signs which are integrated into an attractive brick, stone, or wood architectural feature or an earth berm, all of which shall be permanently landscaped, may exceed 4 feet in height to a maximum of 10 feet. Sign may not exceed 80 square feet. Ground signs must be located so that they do not obstruct the view of traffic from any intersection, street, or driveway. Signs on work under construction. Non-illuminated signs not exceeding 32 square feet in area displaying the name of the building, the contractors, the architects, the engineers, the owners, and the financial selling and or development agencies are permitted upon the premises of any work under construction, alteration, or removal. They shall be set back not less than 15 feet from any property right-of-way line, whichever distance is greater. Such sign shall be removed within 30 days after the completion of the project. Temporary subdivision signs. Temporary signs not exceeding 32 square feet in area announcing a land subdivision development are permitted on the premises of the land subdivision. They shall be set back not less than 15 feet from any property line or right-of-way line, whichever distance is greater. Such signs shall be spaced not less than 500 feet apart within a single subdivision. They shall be removed when 75% of the lots are conveyed. Nick? Sign directional. Signs indicating direction shall not exceed 6 square feet, shall not be more than half a mile from property, and no more than 2 are allowed. Neon signs. Signs which utilize neon lighting, either for the body of the sign or its borders, shall comply with all relevant local, state, and federal electrical requirements. Political signs. Political signs are allowed in all zones and do not require a permit. Signs must be made from a durable, weather-resistant material. No political signs may be placed on utility poles or traffic signs. No political signs shall be placed in the public right-of-way. Signs over 4 square feet in surface area and over 4 square feet in height are required to be set back at least 10 feet from the property line or the right-of-way line, whichever greater distance is greater. Maximum size sign allowed in a residential zone is 9 square feet. Maximum size sign allowed in a commercial zone is 32 square feet. Signs shall be allowed no earlier than 90 days prior to the public election date, and all such signs must be removed within 7 days following the last election in which the specific candidate advertises in the sign will participate in the designated election cycle. Signs placed illegally within the public right-of-way or utility poles or traffic signs will be removed immediately by the Arkansas Department of Transportation and/or the City of Heber Springs. Real estate signs. In any residential zone, real estate signs may not be larger than 9 square feet in size, and only one sign is allowed for each side of the structure that faces the public street. In all other zones, real estate signs may be no larger than 32 square feet. Off-premise directional real estate signs are permitted, but with written percent of the landowner is required. Balloon signs. The height of a tethered balloon sign shall not exceed 35 feet at maximum height, or shall not possess a tether of such length that during straight line winds the sign would extend beyond any property line of the property containing the sign or into a public sidewalk, whichever is less. Temporary advertising signs. Temporary signs used to advertise sales, service, products, events, fundraisers, etc. from a business nonprofit may be used for a period of 4 consecutive weeks, after which the sign and mounting post must be removed. No business may place temporary advertising off-premises signs of the business. Temporary event signs must be for events inside Cleburne County and cannot promote events outside of Cleburne County. No temporary advertising signs shall be placed in the public right-of-way or utility poles or traffic signs. Signs over 4 square feet in surface area and over 4 feet in height are required to be set back at least 10 feet from the property line or the right-of-way line, whichever distance is greater. Signs placed illegally within the public right-of-way or utility poles or traffic signs or in violation of this ordinance will be removed immediately by the Arkansas Department of Transportation and/or the City of Heber Springs. Garage sale yard sale signs. Garage or yard sale signs are not permitted in the public right-of-way or to be attached to any utility poles or traffic signs, and shall be removed by the end of the day of the last day of the sale. The size of the signs shall not exceed 6 square feet. Garage or yard sale signs must display the address and dates of the sale clearly on the sign. Any sign in violation will be removed. Signs placed illegally within the public right-of-way on utility poles or traffic signs will be removed immediately by the Arkansas Department of Transportation and/or the City of Heber Springs. Section 6, zoning regulations. Signs permitted in all zones. The following signs are permitted in all zones. All signs not requiring a permit. 1 construction sign for each street frontage of the construction project, subject to the requirements of Section 4 of this chapter. Real estate signs as further restricted herein. 1 attached nameplate per occupancy, not to exceed 2 square feet in sign area. Such nameplate shall indicate nothing other than the name and/or address of the occupant's premises, announcement of borders or rumors. Political signs. Signs permitted in residential zones. The following signs may be permitted in all residential zones, all other signs being specifically prohibited. Signs larger than 2 square feet but not larger than 32 square feet may be permitted by special permit or apartment buildings. Schools, churches, hospitals, parks, farms, and other special uses approved for the zoning district. Such signs shall indicate nothing other than the name and/or address of the premises and name of the management, except that church signs may include information concerning services and other information related to their ministry. Excuse me, I'm sorry. 1 subdivision identification sign per neighborhood, subdivision, or development. 1 sign per street frontage, except that no advertisement for off-the-premises goods and services will be permitted. A sign identifying a home occupation may not exceed 4 square feet, solely to identify the business occupation or profession, and such sign must be physically attached to the structure. Temporary signs advertising garage or yard sales, provided that such signs shall be removed by the end of the day of the last day of the sale. The size of the sign shall not exceed 6 square feet. Temporary garage or yard sale signs must display the address and the dates of the sale clearly on the sign. Signs permitted in commercial zone C1. All those signs permitted in the residential R zones are allowed in commercial C1 zone. Advertising signs painted on the sides of buildings and signs that advertise products or goods unrelated to the use of the building on which the sign is painted or attached are prohibited except for historic ghost signs. For principal uses, business signs shall be permitted on the basis of one sign not exceeding 2 square feet or of sign area for each 1 linear foot of the building facade. But the maximum total of all permitted signs for a facade of any establishment shall not exceed 80 square feet. Projecting signs are allowed but shall not project onto the roadway or driveway and shall be placed within the lowest part of the minimum 7 feet above the surface of the sidewalk. Signs shall not exceed 8 square feet. Freestanding signs for single-tenant structures. Each single-tenant structure is allowed freestanding signs provided that the display surface of such signs shall not exceed 80 square feet, except that the display surface may be increased 2 square feet for each foot of street frontage, beyond 100 feet to maximum display area of 120 square feet. The signs must have a setback of at least 10 feet from the adjoining properties lines and the front property line or street right-of-way line, whichever distance is greater. 1 freestanding sign is allowed per lot or commercial street frontage. For buildings on corner lots, 1 additional freestanding sign is allowed on the additional street frontage. Freestanding signs for multi-tenant structures and joint identification. Each multi-tenant structure or a group of structures may have 1 incidental or freestanding identification sign for each street frontage. With a setback of at least 10 feet from adjoining property lines and the front property line or street right-of-way line, whichever distance is greater. The sign shall be a directory sign and serve for the purposes of the joint business and identification of tenants within the structure of group of structures. Any business or structure identified on the joint identification directory sign shall be allowed no other freestanding signs. For structures or a group of structures with a street frontage of less than 100 feet, the sign display surface shall not exceed 80 square feet. For structures or a group of structures within a street frontage of more than 100 feet and less than 300 feet, the sign display surface shall not exceed 80 square feet, except the display surface may be increased by 2 square feet for each foot of street frontage beyond 100 feet to a maximum display area of 120 square feet. For structures or a group of structures with street frontage of more than 300 feet, the sign display surface shall not exceed 120 square feet, except that the display surface may be increased 1 square foot for each foot of street frontage beyond 300 square feet, up to a maximum of 200 square feet. Signs permitted in commercial zone C2. All those signs that are permitted in the residential R zone and C1 zone are allowed in commercial C2 zones. Commercial cul-de-sac, commercial subdivision forming a cul-de-sac for individual commercial lots may have a directory sign located at the entrance of the cul-de-sac and not exceeding 30 feet in height, and located in such a manner that does not restrict the view of the traffic entering the exiting the subdivision. 1 identification wall sign is permitted per principal business. The size of this sign shall not exceed 25% of the building facade fronting a public street. Such signs shall be mounted on the principal structure building. Maximum display area shall not exceed 150 square feet when facing commercial development. The maximum display area shall not exceed 32 square feet when facing residential zoning. Projecting signs are allowed but shall not project into any roadway or driveway and shall be placed within the lowest part of minimum 7 feet above the surface of the sidewalk. Sign not to exceed 16 square feet. One off-premise signage not to exceed 32 square feet is allowed per advertising business. The total area of an off-premise sign structure must not exceed 64 square feet per side. One off-premise sign structure allowed within the real estate parcel. Off-premise signage is allowed on commercial zone C2 on state highway frontage only. Written approval from the property owner is required for off-premise signage, and all off-premise signage must be presented and approved by the planning commission. Tag.
All those signs permitted in residential or commercial C zones are allowed in industrial I zones except off-premise signage. The total surface of a business sign or sign on a building or lot shall not exceed 25% or 200 square feet. Advertising sign structure shall be limited to not more than one structure or a lot.
Check the other one.
It's on now.
Total surface area of a business sign or signs on a building or lot shall not exceed 25% or 200 square feet. Advertising sign structure shall be limited to not more than one structure for a lot of 75-foot frontage or less, and to one additional structure for each 75 feet of additional lot frontage. No advertising sign may be erected within 50 feet of an adjoining residential district if designed to or results in facing into such a zone. Signs permitted in the PUD zone. Signs in the PUD zone shall be approved as part of the approval process for the PUD development. Section 7, sign maintenance. All freestanding signs and the premises surrounding the same shall be maintained by the owner thereof in a clean, sanitary, and inoffensive condition, and free and clear of all obnoxious substances, rubbish, and natural growth of grass or weeds. All signs shall be properly maintained at all times. Exposed surfaces shall be cleaned and painted if paint is required. Defective parts shall be replaced. The Planning and Zoning Commission is hereby authorized to order the repair or removal of any sign which is defective, damaged, substantially deteriorated, or building code in force in the city. The permit holder will have 30 days to bring sign into compliance. Non-conforming signs. If structural damage to the sign exceeds 50%, the sign shall be removed. Any signage not permitted under the current sign code will not be permitted to be replaced and must be removed. Signs removed due to road or utility construction repair may be replaced in the same location with the approval of the Planning and Zoning Commission. Section 8, exemptions. This article does not relate to building design, nor does it regulate the following: official traffic or governmental signs, the copy and message of signs, window displays. Product dispensers, scoreboards on athletic fields, advertising at public athletic fields, flags of any nation, government, or non-commercial organization, gravestones, barber poles, religious symbols, commemorative signs, tablets, or plaques approved by the Heber Springs City Council, signs required to be maintained by law or governmental order, rule, or regulation, the display of street numbers, off-premise open house signs for the day on which open house is conducted, signs for which permit is not required. A permit is not required for the following types of signs in any zone: traffic directional warning or information signs authorized by any governmental agency, official notices issued or required by any court, governmental agency, or officer, church bulletin board signs located not less than 15 feet back from the street right-of-way line, not exceeding 32 square feet. 1, non-illuminated for sale, for rent, or for lease sign located not less than 15 feet back from the street right-of-way line unless attached to the front wall of a building, not exceeding 9 square feet in the area of residential zones or 32 square feet in zones other than residential zones. Allowed home occupation signs, political signs, temporary advertising signs as permitted under Section 5, temporary advertising signs. Each permit shall be valid until the sign is removed or the city requests removal due to unsatisfactory conditions. Section 9, prohibited signs. The following signs are prohibited within the city of Heber Springs. Signs imitating warning signals. No sign shall display intermittent lights resembling the flashing lights customarily used in traffic signals or in police, fire, ambulance, or rescue vehicles. Nor shall any sign use the word stop, danger, or any word, phrase, symbol, or character in a manner that might mislead or confuse a vehicular driver.
This is number 2. Signs within street or highway right-of-way, no sign whatsoever, whether temporary or permanent, except traffic signs and signals and information signs erected by a public agency are permitted with any street or highway right-of-way. Certain attached and painted signs, signs painted on or attached to trees, fence posts, and telephone or other utility posts, or signs painted on or attached to rocks or other natural features or painted on the roof buildings. Fluttering ribbons and banners, and similar devices are prohibited within the right-of-way in any zones. Billboards are not permitted within the corporate limits of the city of Heber Springs. Hand-tacked signs, no off-premise sign except as permitted in a commercial C2 zoning. Section 10, permit regulations. Unless otherwise provided by this article, all signs shall require permits and payment of fees as described in this section. Application for a permit for the erection, altercation, or relocation of a sign, when allowed by this article, shall be made to the code enforcement officer and approved by the Planning and Zoning Commission or duly appointed. Form or forms may be required to provide the information necessary to administer the provisions of this article. As a minimum, the following information is required: height of sign, sign face detail, both sides if applicable, structure and or support details, location of sign in relation to street, property lines, easements, buildings, and private drives, location of any property lines that may be affected by the sign, copy of agreement with property owner if property is leased. All requests for sign permits must be approved by the Planning and Zoning Commission or duly appointed. It shall be the contractor's or owner's responsibility to call for a final inspection when construction of the sign has been completed. All electrical work performed in conjunction with the installation of a sign shall require an electrical permit as described in the city permitting regulations. All signs must be designed and constructed to meet all the requirements pertaining to sign design and construction as stated in the city building code. Section 11, fees. Unless otherwise modified by ordinance, fees for a sign permit shall be as follows. The fee for signs and signage up to 60 square feet is $15. The fee for signs and signage for over 60 square feet shall be $15. For the 60 square feet and 25 cents per square foot thereafter, up to maximum size permitted herein. Calculating footage on new and altered signs are as follows. Window signage and wall signs, the surface area of the sign shall be computed by including the entire area with a single continuous circle, ellipse, sphere, or rectangle enclosing the extreme limits of the writing, representation, emblem, backer board, etc. If more than one section of glass is used, all the area including that between sections shall be included in the computation of the display surface area. Freestanding and other miscellaneous signs, the square footage of a sign shall be calculated using only one side of the entire surface area of the sign. The largest side shall be used if the sides are different sizes. If more than two sides exist on the sign, use an average of the sides. Section 2, penalty. When in the judgment of the Planning and Zoning Commission a violation of this article exists, the code enforcement officer shall issue a written notice to the alleged violator. The notice shall specify those sections of the article of which the person may be in violation and shall state the person has 30 days from the date of the order in which to abate the alleged violation or to appeal to the Planning and Zoning Commission. If the violator fails to appeal or to correct the violation within the time allowed by this section, the sign shall be deemed illegal and removed by the sign owner. If upon inspection, the Planning and Zoning Commission finds that a sign is abandoned or structurally, materially, or electrically defective or in any way endangers the public or is not maintained, such sign or sign shall be deemed illegal, and the Planning and Zoning Commission shall issue a written notice to the owner of the sign and or the occupant of the premises stating the nature of the violation and requiring the sign to be repaired in conformance with the article or removed within 30 days of the date of the notice. The city reserves the right to remove the sign for failure to cure the violation within the set period of time. The owner will be responsible for any costs incurred in the city by the city and removing the sign for noncompliance or failure to cure a violation. Violation of the provisions of this chapter or failure to comply with any of its requirements shall constitute a misdemeanor. Any person who violates this chapter or fails to comply with any of its requirements shall, upon conviction, be punished by a fine not exceeding $1,000 or double such sum for each repetition thereof. If the violation is in nature continuous in respected time, the penalty for allowing the continuance is a fine not to exceed $500 for each day the same is unlawfully continued.
The owner, and also, if applicable, the tenant of any building. It's on, okay. Structure or premises who commits, participates in, or maintains such violation may be found guilty of a separate offense and suffer the penalties provided in this section. The imposition of a penalty does not prevent revocation or suspension of a license, permit, or franchise. Violations of this code that are continuous with respect to time are a public nuisance and may be abated by injunctive or other equitable relief. The imposition of a fine or penalty, however, does not prevent the simultaneous granting of equitable relief in appropriate cases. Section 13, Appeals. The Heber Springs Planning and Zoning Commission shall hear all appeals to the requirements of this ordinance. The Planning and Zoning Commission shall have the following powers, and it shall be its duty: to hear and decide appeals where it is alleged that there's an error in any order, requirement, decision, or interpretation made in the enforcement of this article; to hear requests for minimal deviations from the literal provisions of this code for the erection of a new sign in instances where strict enforcement of this code would cause practical difficulties due to circumstances unique to the individual sign under consideration, and grant such deviation only when it is demonstrated that such action will be in keeping with the spirit and intent of this article. The Commission may impose reasonable conditions in the granting of a deviation to ensure compliance and to protect adjacent property. A violation of such conditions shall constitute a violation of this ordinance. Any deviation granted by the Planning Commission shall automatically be revoked if the applicant does not comply with the terms of the variance within 90 days from the granting thereof. In exercising the above-mentioned powers, the Commission may reverse or affirm in whole or in part, or may modify the order, requirement, decision, or determination appealed from, and may make such order, requirement, decision, or interpretation as ought be made. The concurring vote of a majority of the full Commission shall be necessary to reverse any order, requirement, decision, or determination of a city official, or to decide in favor of the applicant on any matter addressed under this article, or to effect any variation in this ordinance. Decision of the Planning Commission may be further appealed to the City Council, who shall hear such appeal in accordance with the provisions of this section. Do you want to turn? Okay. Section 14, Repealer. All ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith are hereby repealed to the extent of the conflict. The provisions of this ordinance are hereby declared to be severable, and if any section, phrase, or provision shall be declared or held invalid, such invalidity shall not affect the remainder of the sections, phrases, or provisions. Conflict clause. Any ordinance and or parts of the ordinances in conflict herewith are hereby repealed to the extent of such conflict. Severability clause. That the provisions of this ordinance are hereby declared to be severable, and if any section, phrase, or provision shall be declared or held invalid, such invalidity shall not affect the remainder of the sections, phrases, or provisions. Section 15, Emergency. It is hereby found and determined that the efficient regulation of this ordinance is necessary to the health, safety, and welfare of the public. Therefore, an emergency is hereby declared to exist, and this ordinance shall be in full force and effect from and after its passage and approval.
Thank you, everybody.
There's a lot in there. I don't think we should read this by title.
You want to read it again? Is everybody awake? That was a lot.
I make a motion to place on second reading.
With the emergency clause on it, do we have to go through all that? Since it's already stated?
Go through what?
The voting in second, third, I thought that was part of it. Even with the clause on it.
Sure.
Since we are in a voting year, have we covered, and maybe I missed it, I do have a little bit of ADD. Did we cover, can a truck have a political sign on it and be parked in a public space?
We talked about that.
So that is actually going to be state highway, because the trucks that are parked in front of the courthouse typically, that falls under the state highways regulations because that's a state highway. We actually would not have any jurisdiction on the state highway if the truck is in the
state highway.
So that would be, so whoever parks like their truck like that would need to be right there in front of the courthouse on the street.
Yes, on the state highway.
road.
Yeah.
Not on Third or Fourth Street.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ronnie, my mic doesn't work, but are you saying then any businesses along Main Street into the state highway wouldn't be having things apply to them?
No, the businesses, he's talking about political signs like in the back of the pickup. No, the businesses would, because the businesses are actually,
Set back.
I guess from the edge of the sidewalk back is city.
Got it.
There's 2 or 3 right now projection signs. And a matter of fact, I saw RDOT on Main Street this afternoon. I don't know if they were looking at them. There's 2 or 3 signs hanging on the fronts of buildings that are actually overlapping out into the right-of-way right now. If those signs come down, they would not be able to put them back up where they are. And the highway department reserves the right to tell them that those signs have to come completely off those buildings. I don't know what the highway department was doing out there today, but I did see them driving through.
Pete, were you my second? Is that you?
I jumped the gun a little bit.
We've only had a motion. Did we have a second?
I thought Amy did, but I was just
Did.
verifying with her that she did give a second.
I did it a little early, but.
Does this grandfather in any existing signs that are up at this point?
Yes, if there's any existing, so grandfathering in is not a real thing. There's no, yeah. If a sign is existing, it is considered under the ordinance that was in place when that sign was put up. If a sign, for instance, if a billboard that's existing right now, if for some reason that billboard comes down, they would not be able to put that billboard back, because putting that billboard back would be in violation of the current sign ordinance. But when that billboard was put up, it was the sign ordinance at the time. So that's the grandfathering in, is it's got, just like with building codes, the building code has to meet what the building was when it was built, but if they go in and redo all the electrical in the building, they have to meet the current code, or redo plumbing, they have to meet the current code.
Or if it comes within like, what was it, 50% of disrepair?
Yes, yeah, if it's
they
more than
slide
50%.
Past 50%, then it,
Got to be the new standard.
yes.
And there was one error as we were reading this, and I'm trying to find it. It was
Too late, we've already got a second reading.
it was just in Roman numerals, it said section 4 in Roman numerals, and that should have actually read section 5. So, and I'm trying to find it right now to,
It was one of Lane's. So page 5 or 6.
yeah, we could table it and redo this next time.
Page 5 or 6.
Sounds great.
7.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure y'all were aware that there is a section that said section 4, and that should actually say section 5.
Easy to make a little error here and there that we can correct.
Well, we can pass it as amended.
Ask for a little
Got
latitude.
motions on that one?
I have a motion and a second on the table to read it by title only to the second reading. I don't think we've voted.
No, we have not.
We haven't voted on that yet. 08. Vicki, you want to go ahead and do that while we're looking for that section? Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. J.P. Hodges,
Yes.
Louis Short,
Yes.
Pete Harris,
Yes.
Lane Tubbs,
Yes.
Allie Sugg,
Yes.
Chris Foster,
Yes.
Lloyd White, Amy Bader,
Yes.
Motion carried.
I'll read it. An ordinance amending Heber Springs Municipal Code Title 11, Chapter 11.52 in the entirety, including ordinances referenced, also known as the Comprehensive Sign Regulations, under the authority of this municipality's power to plan and zone within the city limits of Heber Springs, Arkansas, declaring an emergency and for other purposes.
Thank you, Louis.
Make a motion to place on third and final reading by title only.
Second.
Vicky?
Lloyd White,
Yes.
Amy Bader,
Yes.
Allie Sugg,
Yes.
Chris Foster, Pete Harris,
Yes.
Lane Tubbs,
Yes.
Louis Short,
Yes.
J.P. Hodges,
Yes.
Motion carried.
An ordinance amending Heber Springs Municipal Code Title 11, Chapter 11.52 in the entirety, including all ordinances referenced, also known as the comprehensive sign regulations under the authority of this municipality's power, plan and zone within the city limits of Heber Springs, Arkansas, declaring an emergency and for other purposes. Make a motion to adopt the ordinance.
Any discussion?
Allie Sugg,
Yes.
Pete Harris,
Yes.
Amy Bader,
Yes.
J.P. Hodges,
Yes.
Lloyd White, Lane Tubbs,
Yes.
Chris Foster,
Yes.
Louis Short,
Yes.
Motion carried.
Make a motion to adopt the emergency clause.
Second.
Any discussion?
Lane Tubbs,
Yes.
J.P. Hodges,
Yes.
Chris Foster, Amy Bader,
Yes.
Lloyd White, Pete Harris,
Yes.
Allie Sugg,
Yes.
Louis Short,
Yes.
Motion carried. Okay, next up, we've got budget appropriations. We'll have to do this by department. We got Parks and Rec, construction bond, the current balance is $189,161.94. We need to appropriate bond money for improvements for the community and aquatic center. Ooh. Get that? Okay, for Parks and Rec, for Sandy Beach, we need to appropriate $8,000 for overtime hours for the police department, appropriate $5,500 to the Bronco Stampede, to the Sandy Beach O&M for picnic tables, appropriate $2,500 to Sandy Beach. For additional picnic tables, appropriate $16,236.71, Sandy Beach from O&M for the lawnmower, and $10,000 for the side-by-side. So total Parks and Rec to come out of Sandy Beach is $42,236.71. And then I'll have to go back and do the Parks and Rec construction fund because I skipped that.
Did we not do that at the last meeting?
No, we had workshop and discussed it, but we've got to actually appropriate it here.
Okay.
So I need a motion to appropriate $42,236.71 to come out of Sandy Beach for Parks and Rec.
So moved.
Any discussion? Vicky?
Chris Foster,
Yes.
Lloyd White, Lane Tubbs,
Yes.
Allie Sugg,
Yes.
Louis Short,
Yes.
Amy Bader,
Yes.
J.P. Hodges,
Yes.
Pete Harris,
Yes.
Motion carried. Now I need a motion to appropriate $189,161.94 out of the Parks and Rec construction bond for improvements of the community and aquatic center. That's going to be for the elevator repairs.
And that's coming out, that was out of the bond, is that correct?
Yes, and the flooring, and I think there's something else. Then we'll have to do the resolution to waive the bid for the flooring. But first, we'll appropriate the funds.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Vicky?
J.P. Hodges,
Yes.
Lane Tubbs,
Yes.
Chris Foster,
Yes.
Amy Bader,
Yes.
Louis Short,
Yes.
Pete Harris,
Yes.
Ellie Sugg,
Yes.
Lloyd White,
Motion carried. Next, I need to appropriate 2,000 to police ammunition and 2,000 to police travel and training for a total of $4,000 for the police department.
Second?
Any discussion?
who was my motion? Which one?
Lloyd?
Lloyd.
It's the same stuff we talked about.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Vicki, when you're ready.
Okay, Amy Bader,
Yes.
Lloyd White, Ellie Sugg,
Yes.
Chris Foster,
Yes.
Pete Harris,
Yes.
Lane Tubbs.
Yes.
Louis Short,
Yes.
J.P. Hodges.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. We gotta go back and do that. Before we go further,
That appropriates the money. Then we'll have to go back and we have a resolution to waive the bidding. Okay, next we have Spring Park electrical upgrades. So Entergy is going to come in and change all of our lighting on their dime, which is amazing. But we have a meter main that needs to be changed out and some underground services to move. And so I had asked joining contractors, Franklin Fall, to give me a quote because they are commercial electrician. And so that amount is $24,137.62. We have not, this money is not in the budget. So I'm asking for that to come out of the general fund. And I know that it's a lot, but we don't have to do it one time.
What are they, I'm just wondering, what they're replacing, like going to all LED lighting, I'm assuming?
Yes. And a couple of the decorative lighting lights will be changed. This is for, there's a main by the amphitheater,
Okay.
and that's what needs to be changed.
It's just upgraded, is that what it is to what we're needing, or?
Yeah, they can completely take it out and put a new one in.
Upgrading anything.
Maybe the amperage.
Does this have to go out to bid?
No.
This is going to save money in the long run. Maybe we'll pay for longer.
I hope so. And some,
LED lights?
yeah, they're going to, and the park's going to be lit up at night, which we don't currently have. So hopefully that'll cut down on some vandalism as well.
So there's lights there that we're upgrading, or there's not lights and we're adding lights?
We're not adding lights, we're upgrading.
And then they'll be on all the time?
Yes, just like the street lights.
Okay.
So it's the same amperage going back in, it's just upgraded so that it handles new wiring? What?
Oh, I don't speak electrical.
I mean,
So-
you're demoing the existing 400 amp, demoing two existing 200 amps.
And the transformer.
We're also going
And then
under-
installing a 400 amp
Yeah.
single phase.
Yeah, we're also going underground, and they're going to have to go under the sidewalk as well, over by the amphitheater.
And usually when we have that, we have brand new spring.
Oh, let's not do that.
And that comes out of GF? General, I mean.
Yes,
general
sir.
fund? Which money we got in there, Coach?
2 point something.
Do we have a cushion in case this little line that's scary as heck to me happens? Due to not knowing where some of the conduits go, there could be some additional costs associated. So what's a threshold that we're able to absorb if there are additional costs?
That looks a little bit unknowing.
Well, they also said that they're going to have a guy there to plan out the underground utilities that's already there, because we don't really know what exists. And so that will help. I can give them a cap,
You're talking about Entergy, or you're talking about Julian contract?
Julian.
Gotcha.
The overall outcome improves what?
Gets everything underground, so the overhead for one.
More lights
Safety, we'll have lights
At night.
at night
in a park that needs.
in Spring Park. Correct.
And hopefully less vandalism.
Have they told you an approximate cost of what that value is that we're getting for free?
Oh, I don't know.
Well, it's.
I can ask Todd.
Does this also, the Julian thing also include updating all the services there for trailers and stuff and festivals?
No, but we are going to have them look at that.
So that needs
Yes, it does. But I think while they're there, they can figure out where all the wiring is underground, and then we can,
they start changing.
oh,
Start adding, it's gonna be more than 24,000.
well, I will bring it back.
Why doesn't it have to go to bid on?
It's not over the amount.
42,000.
Yeah.
And when is all that going to be done?
I don't think that Entergy is going to start until after Ozark Trail Fest.
This would be after that or before that? Do we wait for Entergy to do their part before we upgrade our part, or do we need to do our part before Entergy?
They're going to work together on that.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Because I imagine it's going to have to go at the same time. Like, they can start replacing lights when they take down this pole and transformer and redo the pedestal.
I can speak on one thing for you, Pete. You were asking about the timeline there. Now, Energy will have to have a contractor in place before they'll be able to do anything. Because when they come out and disconnect, they'll want the contractor in place there to do work. So there's really nothing Energy could do first, or that the contractor can do first before they're synced together.
One thing I'm afraid of, the 24,000 is not, it's gonna be more, because if we're looking at more power for trailers and things like that, and there's gonna be rock, there's gonna be unseen things.
Well, that's not on the table right now.
Yeah.
She was just saying that they're going to ask.
They're going
To look at that while they're out there to save a trip from doing it in the future, and then a different proposal would be made to upgrade those.
Correct.
The
Yeah.
only thing I'm asking is, do we put a lid on it right now as far as above and beyond?
You can, yes.
I mean, he's not gonna know till he gets there, right?
Right.
But it's gonna be like, say, max
30.
30?
Yeah,
That's what
and
I
then
was
if it's over that, I can bring it back.
So be appropriating up to
Up to 30.
Correct.
$30,000.
So
Yes,
we
sir.
need a motion for this?
Yes.
Make a motion that we appropriate up to 30,000 to Julian Contracting for the wiring at Spring Park.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Any more discussion?
Yeah, there's going to be, I mean, people are going to see this and they're going to, well, why aren't you doing this over here if you're doing something like this? And part of the reason is we got to put the citizens' money to work. So why not do an improvement?
Yeah.
So I like the plan. You know, when I make a call in a basketball game, 50% of the people are going to like the call, 50% aren't. So you'll make some happy, you're going to make some roll their eyes and question you. So I think it's a good plan. I think it's a good move. That's just my personal opinion.
Okay, thank you.
Frank's gonna do a good job, too.
Yes.
Are we
Vicki?
ready for a vote?
Yes, ma'am.
Lloyd White, J.P. Hodges,
Yes.
Amy Bader,
Yes.
Louis Short,
Yes.
Chris Foster,
Yes.
Pete Harris,
Yes.
Allie Sugg,
Yes.
Lane Tubbs.
Yes.
Motion carried. Okay, next, we have the resolution to waive the bidding for the aquatic floor, and this is because it's over the, is it 42 or 45,000?
$42,921.
State law says that if it's over that amount, that it has to go to, out to bid, or you can use state bid. Now, this does have a TIPS number on it, which is sort of a state bidding system, but we haven't done a resolution for that yet, so I thought it would look better if we did this resolution to waive the bidding process, because that's what the auditors are going to look at.
Josh, can you give us, just kind of go over that again and tell us what that all is covering, please?
So this is the flooring in the aquatic facility, and we're saying it's flooring, it's actually
Microphone.
Ronnie's got a mic.
All right. Hello? Okay. So the flooring in the aquatics area was painted at one time. I've been in Parks and Recreation now for 23 years, worked in 5 different pools. This is the first pool that I've seen that actually painted their concrete flooring that's around the pool. For whatever reason, that was painted at one point in time. It's chipped. It looks horrible. Anyone that's here, we have a good crowd. If y'all would like to walk through the aquatic center after this and look at the flooring, you can see the condition of that. I work with Chalk Walden, Blue Water Chemicals a lot. He's builds splash pads, builds pools. Worked with him for the last 20 years as well. Asked him to come out, take a look at it. He wouldn't want to bid on that. It's a bad idea, 120 degree temperatures and humidity, and the paint on the concrete do not do well. Same thing that happened with our splash pad last year, and that's why I came and redid the splash pad for that. They suggested Centerpro. Centerpro came out, again, no bid, and help me with the name of the company, Gary. Diaco? Diaco was a company.
Desco?
Desco was a company that did come out and gave us a bid and said they're going to do it for us. And that's going to include taking everything off the current floor and putting down a new color.
Do we need a color? Like, can you just take it off and leave it?
That would be what I would like to do. However, it's clear that this has been painted at least twice. I don't exactly know, and I feel like if we paint it again, that's eventually what it's going to be again. But however, I don't know what it's going to look like once they get it all off, or if they're ever going to be able to get all the glue and everything else off that. I'm not sure what it's going to look like.
No, plus he's saying tightly adhered material is going to stay in place.
I'm sorry?
Plus he's saying that tightly adhered material is going to stay in place. He's not going to grind that.
No, he's going to ground that. He's talking about around the pool what the gutters are. But yes, then they around the lap pool, it goes all the way to the pool and along the gutter. And then on the therapy pool, the flooring actually wraps around underneath, and he's just going to take about 3 inches. So he's going to go to that. That's going to stay in existing place, along with like the no dive tiles and the 3-foot and 5-foot tiles that we have.
Is that power washing? Is that how he? Is that
No,
how-
it's going to be like a grinding. We
like a
attempted.
wheel? They're like you're
Yep.
using a
Diamond,
wheel?
Yep.
yeah,
Gotcha.
diamond cut.
I believe it's blast track. Yeah, so we tried to like scrape it ourselves. And like I said, anyone who would like to go and take a look after this, I mean, it's very hard work to get that up with a scraper. And it looks bad. It needs to be addressed. It's 18 years old, and it's starting to show wear and tear of 18 years of it.
So it's already been painted twice in 18 years?
At least twice. That's when we pull that, that's them telling me that. I don't know for, a fact. I don't think anyone was here at the time, so anyone still around that can tell me that it's been painted, how many times it's been painted, but we can tell there's been at least 2 coats that were put on that at some point in time.
And just grinding it down and polishing it is not a option? Is it because it's slick or what?
Well, I'm trying to figure out why it was ever painted with to begin with. And I don't know that answer. And like I said, the other pools that I've worked with, it's just been concrete flooring around it. We never painted it, never had an issue.
So,
Yep. And so I think that's another thing. I think probably at one time someone did think that it was a slip hazard, so they put some type of slip-resistant grit in that. So that's kind of what you're taking off, and they painted on top of that. And so that's what whatever word, sandblast, however, that's what they're doing to get that off.
And whatever they put down will then have that grit or whatever in it for traction and slip?
If we go that route, that would be what I would suggest. If, like I said, I don't think they're going to be able to get everything off. Once again, anyone who would like to go look at that after this, I'll more than welcome, happily walk them through that so they can see it. But I don't think it's going to look good just from them taking that off.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, any more questions?
More experience.
This was coming out of the bond,
Yes.
so this is also what we talked about last time, right? Correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
This is bond stuff?
This will come out of the bond money, yes, that you just appropriated for Parks and Rec improvements.
Resolution number is this?
Vicki, what resolution number?
This will be 2026-05.
Thank you, Josh.
I do have one more question, I'm sorry. Did they say how long this would last?
I can't, off the top of my head, no. I was more interested in how long it was going to take them to do the project, if we were going to have to close the pool, and if we were going to be in a wintertime situation again with the pool closed type of deal. But I think they're willing to work with me on that. So that's kind of what I was looking at versus how long, what's the shelf life of the new floor, if you will.
What was the time frame? Just wondering, how soon can they get to this?
Yeah,
or how
they
long
think it's
does it
they
take?
think it's gonna be about 3 to 5 days to get everything off, and then we'll then do one side, and then they do the other side, so people can still kind of maneuver
Gotcha.
both sides. There shouldn't be a smell or anything like that. Worrying about dust, which I don't know, you might have more experience with that, but worrying about dust maybe getting in the pool, it might be something that I have to drain the pool afterwards, which we can do,
But
type of
you
deal.
think we can use it the whole time while they're doing
That's the
Wow.
hope.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the hope. I mean, we might have to close one of the pools, the therapy pool or something
Right.
like that for a day, but hopefully we can get it. It's still going to be usable.
Okay.
Yep.
This is the only breakdown they gave us?
Yeah.
So where's the breakdown that came up with the price?
They just gave us one price on the second page.
So, you said 3 days of work?
3 to 5 to take it off. And then they would come out and it would be another 2 or 3 days to put it on. So it would be about a 2-week project, so 10 days in work.
What's this number?
5.
05.
I'll read it.
Okay.
Resolution number 2026-05, City of Heber Springs, Arkansas, a resolution waiving competitive bidding and authorizing the purchase of demo and replacement of aquatic flooring for the Heber Springs Aquatic Center from Desco Systems of Arkansas, Inc., for the City of Heber Springs, Arkansas. Whereas the City of Heber Springs received a quote for one demo and replacement of existing flooring in the Aquatic Center, approximately $70,752 for the Heber Springs Park and Recreation. And whereas the City Council has received and reviewed a quote from Desco Systems of Arkansas, Inc. of North Little Rock, Arkansas, attached hereto as Exhibit A, and believes the price and availability for the demo and replacement of existing flooring to be advantageous, and whereas due to the effects of this service, the availability of certain installers that are appropriate services are limited. And whereas the city council has determined it is the best interest of the city of Heber Springs and its citizens to provide funding in the amount of approximately $70,752 for the purchase of one demo and replacement of existing flooring in the Aquatic Center and to waive competitive bidding for the same. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the city council of the city of Heber Springs, Arkansas, Section 1, competitive bidding is hereby waived in the quote secured by the mayor of Heber Springs for the purchase of one demo and replacement of existing flooring in the Aquatic Center in the sum of approximately $70,752 is hereby authorized, and the mayor is authorized to expend said funds to purchase said repair and to take all such other action as is necessary in connection with therewith in order to complete the purchase. Further, all previous actions of the mayor or her designee in connection therewith are hereby approved and ratified.
Thank you, Ally.
So our options are, it has to be done. Something has to be done, right? Yeah, so we either take it off, repaint it, or what? That's it? Okay.
Yeah.
I make a motion that we,
Hang on just a second.
okay.
Why again, or is it, this is Desco, why just Desco and nobody else?
Blue Water did not want to put a bid in on it, and neither did Sprinklr. So there's three companies, that's the third company, and the only one that has to bid.
So if anybody else wanted to give you a bid right now, they could. There's nothing stopping them.
Yeah?
Like I said, it's unique when you're, as we learned from the splash pad, that you use paint concrete that's sitting out 120 degrees. That's why I thought companies that are not.
Of all the things out there, there's every pool surface, I think that's weird that nobody would take that.
I agree.
There's cool creeks, there's all kinds of different things that people do.
Well, and it may be because it's already been painted over twice, and
And also, I think this was 2008, 2010, and just whatever, I mean, just how things change, they might not have had those things back at that time.
true.
For anyone who doesn't know, the option to waive competitive bidding.
We can't hear you.
The option to, for anyone who doesn't know, the option to waive competitive bidding in a situation like this is authorized by the Heber Springs Municipal Code. And it's really for situations where services that are needed are specialized and that there are fewer vendors that offer the special services needed. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, we've done this before for outfitting our police cars because those services are specialized and
The sports netting at the ball field was the waive process, just because some companies just don't want
And it sounds like Josh has reached out to two of the top vendors who work in this area, and though they declined to even give a bid.
You made a motion, right?
Yeah, I make a motion to approve the resolution.
I second.
Any more discussion? Okay, Vicky?
Ally Sugg,
Yes.
Pete Harris,
Yes.
J.P. Hodges,
Yes.
Lloyd White, Lewis Short,
Yes.
Lane Tubbs,
No.
Amy Bader,
Yes.
Chris Foster,
Yes.
Motion carried. Next, we have our arbitrage rebate. This is in the amount of, let me find it.
339, 812.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
So which which bond line does this come out of?
It's going to come out of each construction account for the,
Total amount?
yes, there'll be an amount out of each line on the last page on Schedule 1.
Yep.
And these on the Series B bonds. These are the non-taxable ones. So we just need a motion to pay this amount for the arbitrage rebate out of the bond funds.
And this is what we knew, is the bonds sit there and they're collecting interest, but they don't let us keep the interest even though,
Not on this B bond,
yeah,
correct.
because we're waiting for them to approve our project.
We're
We
wa-
collect interest, but they don't let us keep our interests.
Right, well, yeah, but it's about to get approved and spent, so we'll be good to go.
Somehow.
Yeah.
So we need a motion.
Yes, sir.
So
To-
moved.
To appropriate the $339,812.11 to pay for the rebate out of bond funds. I know it hurts.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? Vicki, when you're ready?
Amy Bader,
Yes.
J.P. Hodges,
Yes.
Pete Harris,
Yes.
Chris Foster,
Yes.
Lloyd White, Lane Tubbs.
Yes.
Ally Sugg,
Yes.
Louis Short.
Yes.
Motion carried. Next up, we've got open mic. Would anybody like to address the council? Paulette? Okay. Yes, ma'am. I can email it to you. Yeah. But I think we're going to be fine for the Ozark Trail Fest.
Yeah, you're pretty much outside the lines on everything because
It's an event.
All of them,
Yeah, we'll post it on the website.
Ronnie, don't you usually post the ordinances on the website? Or is the website going through some?
It's going through some changes.
The website is currently going through some updates through the company that provides it for us. There's some stuff I'm able to change, some stuff I've changed and it reverts it back on me. So I've sent an email to the professional with Civic Plus, our representative. I sent an email to him. I asked him what the issue with that was. He was checking into it, and I did notice, I think the city council meeting was an example. I was able to go back in and get that reposted, and it didn't come down. So I'm guessing they got it addressed, but we just need to be aware that until that new site is launched, which should be launched in the next couple of months, that we might have issues getting stuff to stay on the site, so.
Thank you, Ronnie. Okay, announcements. I've got the FIDA Senior Fish Fry coming up August 28th at 5 o'clock here at the Community Center. Oh, okay, Brent. What you got? Yes, I have that on my list. I'll have to say it again so they can hear it on the video. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yes, sir, and I have it down to put in my video. Let me email it to you.
There was only about 4 new things that were added to the old ordinance.
Yeah, I can send you the highlighted that's got the new. You want that? Sure.
Yeah, it was the old ordinance plus like 4 new things, so it really wasn't new to.
And we only read it once.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
I think when you see the highlighted version, you'll realize that there weren't a lot of changes.
Yeah.
There weren't many changes at all, but.
Brent, if it makes you feel any better, planning and zoning's been working on it for 3 months.
I have a question about the fair out there. So what are they putting in? Are they putting in a dirt track out there?
Yeah, it's a
Sweet.
derby. It's a derby track.
But it's not on, like the rodeo was on the other side, they're putting this in on the left.
Well, that's good.
I mean, they're moving some dirt and they got some big cement barricades. I didn't know what it was. Looked like a short dirt track to me. I'm not sure what it
Well,
was.
there used to be mud bogs out there
Hmm.
back in the.
And it's not big enough. It
Don't
doesn't
do it.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for
Back in the
Brent.
90s, they used to have mud bogging out there.
I mean, and it's in the low area and they're moving a bunch of dirt. They had a, big dozer out there the other day and I just kind of wondered. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you, Brent. Sounds fun to me. So everybody get out and support the Cleveland County Fair, September 8th through the 12th. They got all of the info on their Facebook page. Every day is something different, and it's always fun to see all the different animals. We also have Ozark Trail Fest coming up October 2nd and 3rd. I've got After Dark in the Park, October 24th, Need Trunks. Charlie Johnson Car Show, October 17th. And they're collecting flags for the Field of Heroes, and there will be a ceremony September 11th. It's a lot of stuff. Okay, do you guys have anything else? Yes, ma'am. Yeah. The American Legion Auxiliary. Okay.
Also, we need to get bids for the new CDs. We have 6 CDs coming off the next 2 months. 2 in September, 4 in October.
Okay, I'm sure Carrie has that on her list. Next month. Okay, I just need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Thank you.